Hey everybody, welcome back to a special News of the Beach music edition. It's hot out there. We're tired of doing the news for the day. We're gonna play some music. But first, an interview with Rob DiFilippo from the Part 1 Tribe. Hello. Now I know this guy from the Surfers Pub. Back in the day, driving down the road, Thursday nights, Part 1 Tribe. We also have seen Rob play at the Tiny Turtle Acoustic Sessions. We were blown away.
Called Real Emotion. Till you have to look deep down inside and bring that real emotion. Don't know where it ends till you gave it all. Same with everything, yeah. Till you have to look deep down inside and bring that real emotion. You don't know where it ends till you gave it all. Same with everything, yeah. Said I'm not gonna waste my time no more. Said I'm living my best life over and over. Said I'm not gonna waste my time no more. Said I'm living my best life over and over. Said I'm not gonna lay down and die and fall into the ocean. Won't just let my dreams go over the falls. Give up on everything, yeah. Said I'm not gonna lay down and die and fall into the ocean. I won't just let my dreams go over the falls. Give up on everything, yeah. Said I'm not gonna waste my time no more. Said I'm living my best life over and over. Said I'm not gonna waste my time no more. Said I'm living my best life over and over. She is the sight of me because I turned her off or down. She's always saying we are meant to be. Somehow she thought I was a clown, but I keep telling her I'm too experienced to be seeking for a show. I'm too experienced for someone to rock and roll. I'm too experienced to be taken for a ride. And I know it's not my foolish pride. She doesn't like me around when she's got something to hide. And I think she wants herself some clown, someone to take for a ride. Say what I say. Too experienced to be taken for a stroll. I'm too experienced for someone to rock and roll. song's called Live Your Truth. It's the last song we just released. A dude named Brendan K produced it. And it's on Spotify, Pandora, all that stuff. It goes like this. Did you live your truth? Did you state your peace? Did you speak your mind? Did you tell them everything that you feel? Did you tell them everything that you feel? Did you really keep it real? Did you tell them it's falling your heart right from the very start? Tell them everything that you feel. Did you really keep it real? Did you tell them it's falling your heart right from the very start? Love all the vibes, no one can stop us. Hard one tribe, don't you run it once again. Love all the vibes, no one can stop us. Round deep, come to You only live once. You only get one life to live. Got to keep on moving. You only get one life to live. You got to keep on moving. You only get one life to live. You got to keep on moving. You only get one life to live. You got to keep on moving, 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 moving. Maybe a body surfable wave will come through. But yeah, it looks nice and tropical today. Alright, I wonder how this one will come out acoustically. But this is a brand new song I wrote for my sons. It's called Be There. I will be there. I will be there. I will be there. Sure as the rising sun, I will be there. Sure as the night will come, I will be there. Sure as the rising sun, I will be there. Sure as the night will come, when the future meets the past, it's time to make the moment last. I will be there. When it's time to seize the day, so the memories won't fade, I will be there. I will be there. Sure as the rising sun, I will be there. Sure as the night will come, I will be there. Like the ocean meets the sand, like the wave across the land, I will be there. When it's time to seize the day with peace and unity, I will be there. I will be there. Guide you through the storm, I will be there. To shelter you from harm, I will be there. Guide you through the storm, I will be there. first.
No, we're good. All right, let's get back to it. All right, you recording?
Yeah, recording.
Sounded good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's do, this song's called Getting There. I'd do anything to see you smile. Do anything to see you smile, if only for a little while. Let's just know that we're giving it our best. Put all the bad things to rest, if only for a little while. 'Cause like all the stories before, this one soon will come to pass. When all is said and done, there's one more thing I have to ask. Can I get some love and some tenderness? Can I get some love and some tenderness? Ooh. Let's just sit back, relax, and unwind. Be present in this moment in time, if only for a little while. Let's just know that we're giving it our best. Put all the bad things to rest, if only for a little while. 'Cause like all the stories before, this one soon will come to pass. When all is said and done, there's one more thing I have to ask. Can I get some love and some tenderness? Can I get some love and some tenderness? Oh, life ain't always what it seems. If you're living, it plays out like a dream. Darling, open up your eyes. It's here, we have arrived. It can be deceiving. 'Cause like all the stories before, this one soon will come to pass. When all is said and done, there's one more thing I have to ask. Can I get some love and some tenderness? Can I get some love and some tenderness? Ooh.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Great.
I didn't know she could sing.
I have a way of throwing my
All the way
voice.
over there.
I have a way.
How's it sound?
Well, it's kind of muffled when you're at the beach. I never bring the guitar to the beach.
Hey, if you want to sit over here and hang out, you're more than welcome.
Nah, it's a Sunday. I gotta take it easy. I
Okay.
gotta go work in the morning.
No pressure. I know we're working too hard over here.
Just came down and see it.
Cool, man.
This song's called In This Love, and I'm going to dedicate it to you two because I actually wrote it around the time that I found out my wife was pregnant with our second child, and I know you guys got some news to share, right? Congratulations. But goes like this. As we walk down the shoreline, your hand in mine, out there on the horizon, a new mountain for us to climb. I can be your one love girl, and you can be mine. We'll drink from the same cup. This love can lift you up. We'll stay in this love. We'll stay here in love. We'll know in our hearts it's enough. We'll stay in this love. Stay in this love. We'll stay here in love. Where you going? Where you been? I can smell it in the air once again. I know we're gonna figure it out. Took the words again out of my mouth. I can be your one love girl, and you can be mine. We drink from the same cup. This love can lift you up. We'll stay in this love. We'll stay here in love. We'll know in our hearts it's enough. We'll stay in this love. Stay in this love. We'll stay here in love.
He's our first guest musically. Let's do nothing more than introduce Rob. Say hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So Rob, where were you born? Are you from around here?
I was born in New York, Westchester County, New York, like 20 minutes outside of New York City.
Okay, cool. And when
then,
did you come down this way?
When I was 11 years old, I moved to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And I didn't come down this way until about 2005 when I came here on tour with my band.
Okay.
So the band like started in Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. So on your first tour, like what was your first plan when you set out on that tour? Like, is it the same original members that you have now?
It was in 2004. We released, it was actually our fourth album because I've been recording albums since I was 16. I recorded my first album, and then we did 3 albums before we got to this album, which was the General Consensus album in 2004. And when we released that, we went on our first like national tour. And we kind of like had a fan base established via like the internet. Like we had a website, and there was this website at the time called sublimearchive.com, and a lot of the bands would get like people would share their music, and so that's how we would have fans out all over the country. Like we would go, and there would be people there that like knew our music and would sing along, and that was in 2004. And then 2005 was our second tour when we first came to Florida. And we didn't have many gigs booked in Florida, so we like left an extra amount of time just to come explore. And we purposely were like coming to spots that we knew were like surf spots that we'd seen in like Surfer magazine or in like surf films, you know, like Kelly Slater's from Cocoa Beach or whatever. So we came to Cocoa Beach and we're like looking for picnic tables and like Second Light and like all these like spots that like, you know, they have signs now that say these spots, but they weren't there before. Like that's what they were called like in like surf films and like, you know, so we would like go try and uncover those surf spots. But so we were driving around and like, we had a new keyboard player at the time, and like, I'm like, we're just gonna find some gigs, and he was getting all stressed. He's like, what do you mean, dude? Like, how the hell are we gonna do that? Like, what are you talking about? You know, I'm like, dude, I don't know, trust me, man. We're like driving around, we like took a right at the mobile station at the time, which is now like 4th Street filling station. So we like came up the back road, we took the right, and I'm like, oh, man, we took the right down A1A South. Like the whole band's getting stressed, like Rob has no plan, like what the hell's going on? And then we go into Surfer Sports Pub. He's like, where are we gonna play? I'm like, there. And I point at the Surfer Sports Pub sign, and like we pull in there, we go in and we meet the owner at the time, Adam Mullins, and he happened to have a band and like tour and stuff himself. Like he was from Las Vegas and like had a band, and like so like we told him like, yeah, we're a band on tour from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, man. Like, you have a band playing tonight? He's like, no. I'm like, you want one, man? Like we'll do it for like $100 and like some pizza or something, some beer. He's like, all right, man, yeah, you guys can play. You know? So we played Surfer Sports Pub, and then we continued our tour down to like the Keys and Miami, and then like 2 weeks later we're like, hey man, we come back, we're on our way back, you know, like, you know, he's like, yeah, sure. We came back 2 weeks later, so then we go home, and we only went home for like a month or so to plan our next move, you know. So like 3 months later we were back at Surfer Sports Pub again, and then like, so we kept kind of like making it this place that we would hit as we're touring, until eventually we're just like playing, like you said, we were playing like every Wednesday night for like 9 months straight one time, and then like another time, like a few, you know, after we went and toured, we came back, we did it like another like 6 months straight, and then like we were always there playing, you know, and that was like how I got my any kind of roots here in Florida. And at the time I wasn't living here, I was actually uprooted basically, because I'd gone on tour, and like my stepfather died, like my mom kind of like lost her house, and my sisters went off to college. So, like I didn't even have a home anymore, and we were just touring, and like same situation for a lot of the band members at that point. So we were like road dogs, like road warriors, just going.
Yeah.
Well, I should mention that in 2006 we had a fan here locally that gave us a place to stay, like free of charge.
Oh,
We
wow.
just had to like keep up on the maintenance of the yard and like the trees and like
That's awesome.
and like basically like just keep it lived in or whatever for the guy, and like so that was a place for us to have like an address, to have like licenses and like get mail and like keep our belongings that we didn't want to drag around the country with us, and then
So your home base was then in Cocoa Beach.
it became this area.
Okay.
And then
Before you got into music as a kid, what were some of your hobbies and hangouts, things that you did just growing up?
when I was a little kid, one of my first like passions was like baseball. I was big into like pitching and like hitting. I played third base, and like I was from New York as a kid, and like I was like wanted to be on the Yankees and like become a professional baseball player, and everyone was kind of like, that was my first experience as a little kid with like people kind of like giving you like the reality check, and it's like that won't work. It's like, okay, and then I redirected it into music. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be a famous musician instead. It's like, oh well, okay, sure.
So who introduced you to music?
I have a real musical family. I think I would have to say like my dad would have been the first person that put a guitar in my hand, and then
So you had instruments in the house?
yeah, and then
Was like
I was allowed
an
to
off
pick
limits,
on 'em.
no touch?
No,
or-
I was allowed to pick on them and stuff, and like I would see my dad every once in a while pick it up at the end of the night and just kind of.
So what was your first instrument that you actually owned for yourself?
A guitar.
Do you remember
Yeah.
that guitar?
Yeah, I got my first electric guitar for like I think it was my 7th birthday.
And then what kind of amp did you have?
A Gorilla.
A Gorilla? Now
Yeah.
what's that? Like a starter amp, little?
Yeah, it's like kind of like a known little like 12 like little like 8-inch
Little
speaker.
player amp.
Yeah,
Okay,
little
gotcha.
practice amp.
So what was your mindset that made you like decide I want to like make music as opposed to just play music and make music for people?
Good question. Yeah. Okay. So like when I was about, it took me a long time to be able to play and sing. So like from the age of, I'd say, when I got the guitar at 7, there's not much going on aside from like Mary Had a Little Lamb or like picking on some strings, up until I regained interest about like 11 or 12 and started really kind of playing it a lot. And another interest I had was skateboarding, so I would kind of bounce the two.
Okay.
So every time I'd like kind of get frustrated with the guitar, I'd go just take off on the skateboard and get into that for a month.
And
then
break your arm.
And I would come back and I would find myself better than when I left for some reason.
Oh,
like
wow.
things would sink in while I wasn't playing or something.
Okay.
Or either that or I was better than I thought when I left. But so each time I would come back and it would get better, and then
Do you think the two helped each other?
for sure. I wasn't the best skateboarder in the group of friends, but I was somehow always the best strummer on the guitar in the group of friends. So it was like I was like rising. First had to rise from like your childhood friendships. Like okay,
Sure.
Rob's the guitar player, whatever.
Was your first recording on a guitar?
Yep, it was guitar. To answer your question better, when I was about like 11 or 12, I started learning like Nirvana songs and like Green Day songs, and those were the first songs that I started like singing and playing on. Not just playing and kind of figuring music out, but all of a sudden I was like forming chords. And singing songs that I knew. And
Yeah.
I'm like trying to learn these songs, and like people would kind of pick out the parts I didn't figure out and like kind of give me a hard time, or like kind of like tell me other bands or other songs I should learn, and then like I would put all this effort into like learning people's songs and their lyrics, and like I just kind of like I'm just gonna start kind of trying to make up my own, and started making up my own songs and like just following a little bit of that format, like just a few chords, strumming, and trying to make up a song that you like.
What was the first band that you played in?
It was this band with me and my older sister Diana was the drummer. And then my friend James Rubel played bass, and I played guitar and sang, and the band was called Euphoria. And we played like anything from like songs that I wrote that sounded like Alice in Chains, to like Green Day covers, to Nirvana covers, to just making it. That was the first time we really had a set of like 4 or 5 songs that we were just making up.
Does your sister still drum?
A couple summers ago, I went up to Cape Cod for a visit, and we got her on the drum set for a couple hours. And I think that was like the first time in a couple years or a few years.
Sorry, just let me take a second because I had it. I forgot the question. We're gonna obviously edit
Talk
this.
about
Yeah,
his
no
first
worries.
band.
So do you remember your first gig?
For sure, yeah. Well, I got a couple stories for that. One of my very first gigs outside of school. So in the 7th grade, I would convince the teachers, started doing this thing where I would convince the teachers to let me do like projects
Yeah.
as a song.
Yeah.
Like I needed to write an essay. Like, oh, could I write a song?
Oh, perfect.
Okay, like
I love
so
it.
there was 2 times I did it, and one time I actually got a newspaper clip. I made it the newspaper for it.
Yeah.
But we took Nirvana "Smells Like Teen Spirit" and we made it into a song about saving the rainforest. It's like we have to save the rainforest, or like it's like,
Right.
and they put it in the newspaper, and we played in the library, and there's like all the kids gather to watch us play it.
When did your music transition from like that punk into like reggae?
Okay, yeah. So like a couple of those first shows I was doing like at that little coffee house were punk shows. So like I was accidentally like bringing like these like older punk rock bands from around town, and they were like being rowdy and stuff, and like, but so like it's probably about the age of like 15 or 16. I was I guess to be honest, like when I was in like 9th grade or so, 10th grade, 9th grade, I was like getting into like fights a lot, and like, I was like feeling like I was getting picked on at school, and like getting into fights, and like, you know, getting in trouble, and then like just kind of like I guess maybe I started smoking weed or something, but it like all of a sudden there was a change for me where it was like we're like okay, all of a sudden I went from like getting into fights with everybody at school to like being friends with everybody, and like everybody was like into the band and like into the fact that I was playing music and like having shows, and like we my best friend who started the band with me, Fred, his dad Pete was like a great friend of mine, lifelong friend of mine, but he had a BMW shop in town, the Bimmer shop, and we had a studio there, and we would have parties there like every Friday night, every Saturday night, maybe both at the end, but it started off somewhat conservative, and then but like we had them like we convinced them to like announce the show like on our morning announcements at the high school and stuff, and like we had kids from like other high schools coming, and like we would open up the bay and set up in there and have like 400 kids out there, and like having like a little camp. It was like a mini festival.
Did you feel like it was easier to fill gigs back then?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like the high school chain of things made it easy, and then
Sure.
but that was like kind of what like
Free promo.
inflated us to be like, whoa, like what we could do. Like
Yeah.
like maybe we can take this elsewhere and actually become a real band one day.
Perfect. Yeah. So what are your overreaching goals with your music now?
So my current goals right now, like I actually have like big things going on right now. I just linked up with a really, really good band. I met this dude named Dexter Valman, who's a drummer. He has a band called the Dub Masters, and he was the drummer for Reggae Legends Culture, like a legendary reggae band, world reggae band.
Oh, wow.
And he's my drummer now and like band director, and then we have Papa Ian Paps is the bass player, and then Junior Walker's the keyboard player, and like we just like signed contracts, and like we're going in the studio and starting to record our new like biggest album ever, and then 2025 is 30 years of Part One Tribe.
Oh, wow.
And so we're
Really
releasing
gonna
the
bring it.
album for that, and then doing like our biggest tours yet, God willing or whatever, but we're gonna hit it hard all 2025, but not as hard as we used to, not like living in our van and
Right.
grinding. It's hard, but we're gonna be like doing like regionally, doing like
What you
two,
know,
2 weeks
yeah.
at a time, like maybe like do West Coast,
Right.
do East Coast, Midwest. In September we have plans. We're playing a week-long trip in Jamaica. I went to Jamaica a couple of years ago, and I played at like a world famous venue there called Roots Bamboo. It's like a famous reggae venue right on the beach in the grill. And I actually went there and played 3 nights. And this band there, that's the house band there, they're called Hurricane Band. They were my band there. And now, a couple of years later, I thought it was going to be like the next year. It took a little more time, but we're going to go back, and I'm actually bringing my band, and we're going to have like more of a full show.
Are you going to bring the family family on tour with you?
This time we're gonna take last time my wife came with me to Jamaica. This time we're gonna try and bring the kids too.
Nice.
And where do you record?
My last full album I did actually locally here in Vieira. The drummer from famous like longtime famous rock band Three Dog Night. Like they're like one is the loneliest number. Like Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Like all these songs was Three Dog Night. And the drummer had lived in Vieira, and I got connected with him through like the local chain of things. And then I was going to his house and recording with him, me and him, like one-on-one, pretty much. I did the drums and bass in California at a studio I'd worked at before, and then I brought it all to him, and we kind of did the rest. And that was my last full album I did. And then I've just released a few singles with Youth Man Records out of Kansas City, and we're going to be doing more with them soon. I got a new song coming out actually June 26th called Heart of Love, and that'll be on like Spotify, Pandora, anywhere you can like find music.
So that's right. This June 15th, you can catch Rob D at Pineapples with his band Part 1 Tribe. And without further ado, let's give it up for Rob D.
All time, we made newspaper headlines when I was in 7th grade. Smells like rainforest. Smells like, wait, what was it? I think it was like called Smells Like the Cure for AIDS or something. It smells like the cure for AIDS, cancer or something. Something like that.